Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are present here to deliver a lecture, R.K. Narayan as a Indian novelist. As we all know that Indian literature is a very important as in modern world also. Myself Arpita Parmar, assistant lecturer in Anand Institute of Business Studies, and this is Ms. Komal Pandya madam. She is having experience of 18 years and she is going to present today or I would say she is going to prove that R.K. Narayan is a great Indian novelist. Indian literature is having great expanse in dealing with R.K. Narayan. As we understand that novels are having important in literature as it is represents that how the Indian culture goes, how domestic life works, the rituals and rites of India. It is all depicted by R.K. Narayan. Let us have Ms.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before dealing with the topic R.K. Narayan as a novelist, I would like to discuss about the generation to which R.K. Narayan related in writing literature in English in India particularly. So we know that the Indian history has witnessed 3 generations for writing in English, and that means it has the our country, our history has 3 generations of writers who belonged to Indo-Anglian fictions. And I would like to tell you about Indo-Anglian fiction, that we know that whenever two groups come into contact, they need to communicate through a language. So when the English language came to our India with the English people, with the means it was transplanted in India because of the establishment of East India Company soon after establishing their rule in India. So we know that English, it was transplanted in India because of East India Company, and by 1835 English was adopted by a brief resolution of the Governor General in Council for the promotion of European literature and English among the natives of India. It means it was needed for the people to learn English for the communication. So Indo-Anglian fiction, it was started by then 1835, that the English rulers, they decided to establish English as a medium of communication and medium of learning, education everywhere in India. Next please. So this way English was transplanted in India because of East India Company. Next slide. Okay. The history of, because of the transplantation of English, the history of India entered into a new era with this announcement that Lord William Bentinck, that to impart Indians the knowledge of the English literature and science through the medium of English. Means the English medium, it was established there, and the education through English medium was established. English language, with the support of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, came gradually on the scene. English became popular in a very short while among Indian populace because of all these people, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Bentinck, and the governor of India at that time. They started this education through English language in India. English was then, means by 1835, English was just a fashion by the second half of the 19th century, and we all know that the first Indian novel in English was Raja Mohan's Wife. It was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, but no other could try their talent in writing in English due to the inferiority complex. You know that the Britishers, they were our oppressors, and their operations made the people of India not to accept anything from English government, and so that is why no other writers could try their talent to write in English at that time, and it was instilled into them by the centuries of foreign ruler. The second thing was that it was anti-nationalism to use English as a medium for the creative writing. It means the writers, they believed that if we use English as a medium of writing our talent, then the people may oppose them, and that is why they did not try their pen to write in English, and that is why it was just a fashion for them, for the people in early 19th century. When the Indian writers, means by the passing of time, the people, they started believing in the government and the rules and the English language, and so they started accepting the English language as a medium for writing literature. So when they accepted English as a medium to describe the very problems and people of the Indian society, and the Indo-Anglian fiction took place in India with a variety of historical novels like The Prince of Destiny, S.K. Ghosh, Hindupur, S.K. Mitra, it was written by S.K. Mitra, The Tigress of the Harem, it was written by Ram Narayan, and Baladitya, S.A.S. Panchapakesha, and The Unveiled Court, Umrao Bahadur. So later on, the other writers, they started writing their talents through English language. They were Raj Lakshmi Devi, Kshetrapal, Chakravarti, A. Madhaveb, S.B. Banerjee, Balkrishna, Sorabji Cornelia were the writers who were experimenting to provide recognition to the Indo-Anglian fiction. So this way the English language came into existence in Indian literature. It means the people who were writing in regional languages, they started, means the writers who tried to write in regional languages, they started writing their talent through English language, and that is the way the English came into literature, Indian literature, and the people penned to write their talents through that language. Now, Indo-Anglian fiction. During 1920, 1950, the Indo-Anglian novels dealt with political and social themes. Means, you know that whenever it was, whatever the present time, the writers, they try to write that only through their writings, and that is why they started because the changes occurred, and the changes made them to write about the political and social themes. Means they adopted these themes as their talent. Second, during 1950-85, the Indo-Anglian wrote their novels with unlimited and unrestricted themes. They were R.K. Narayan himself, Mulk Raj Anand, then Raja Rao, Kamla Markandeya, Anita Desai, all these, and Bhavani Bhattacharya, etc. All these started writing their literature through English, means their works through English with unlimited and unrestricted themes. Formerly, it was just what limited themes were there, history and the changes which were occurring due to the movements, Quit India movements and other movements which were occurred during the fight against British rule, so by the people in India. So they were having these topics related to the history of changing history of India. But by the passing of time, by 1950 to 85, the people means the writers, they started writing about the unrestricted themes. Unrestricted means there were many scopes of writing new things in literature, technology, science, the development of science and technology. These were the other themes they got, and they means the problems which were occurring by the people or which were occurring through the social and political backgrounds and themes and all that, means all were set then. So new ideas came into existence by 1950 to 85 in Indo-Anglian fiction, when all these started writing about the unrestricted themes. We can say that our independence witnessed 3 generations, from the pre-independence to post-independence. Whatever the generations came into India related to Indo-Anglian writers, that they were in 3 generations. The first generation is pre-independence, and they were Raj Lakshmi Devi, Kshetrapal Chakrabarti, A. Madhav, S.B. Banerjee, Bal Krishna, Sorabji Cornella, B.C. Chatterjee, etc. Means this was the first generation of Indo-Anglian writers, and they only wrote about the social and political themes, because you know that all the movements were occurring at that time, so they adopted those themes as their talent. The second generation was post-independence, means all others, R.K. Narayan, Mulkraj Anand, Raja Rao, Kamla Markande, Anita Desai, Bhavani Bhattacharya, etc. These are these writers related to the second generation of Indo-Anglian writers, and they were having unrestricted themes with the development of science, technology, the social problems were developed, and even the history, the myth, they also accepted myths, and means imagination, restoration, everything was occurring, and so the writers have unlimited and unrestricted themes to describe in their writings. The last generation, we can say the modern generation, that is Indo-Anglians, and they are Salman Rushdie, Arundhati Roy, Chetan Bhagat, Shantaram Rao, and Nayantara Sehgal, etc. So this way we have 3 generations of Indo-Anglian writers, and nowadays you know that new writers, they wrote only in English, though they have been writing in their regional languages also. They also have adopted the English as their as the medium of writing their talent. Okay, the themes in the novels of the 3 generation of Indo-Anglians were: first, social, historical and detective novels were written by pre-independence Indo-Anglian writers. Means these 3 things were the main themes of pre-independence Indo-Anglian writers. The second, is social criticism, political emancipation, the religious and mythical Indian tradition has been successfully presented in the novels of post-independence Indo-Anglian writers, because you know that the writers were aware about the changes that had been occurring due to the changes in the lifestyle and everything. And the last, the psychological and social tensions are presented by the modern Indo-Anglian writers. You know, Salman Rushdie, Arundhati Roy. Still there are some problems with untouchables and the dowry system, means the women position. So they have many other things which are related to those victims and their psychological and their society. So it all these topics of psychological and social tensions are presented by Salman Rushdie, Arundhati Roy, etc. Aims of Indo-Anglians. The Indo-Anglian novels present historical and geographical awareness of Indian situations. Why it happens? Because you know, from the beginning the writers, they were victimized due to the rule of British people, and those people forced them to write about the history and the geography awareness of Indian situations. And that is why it happened that the writers, they wrote the novels about historical and geographical awareness only. The approach of Indo-Anglians deals with the manners, customs, conventions and systems of Indian society only through English. Now R.K. Narayan. Let's talk about R.K. Narayan. He relates